Alright, we back. Look, we finally on UFC 6, and with UFC Freedom being today, I was just like, I gotta get these videos out. And I'm bringing a lot more to this channel, and I'm really trying to get locked in with my uploading and the way that we do things on this channel. Now, first of all, with Freedom being today, I had to use Ilia. I've really been working on timing and pacing and trying to figure out how the movement and things on this game is going. It is way different than 5. It feels much better. It's more responsive. The head movement isn't all reaction based, and that's been giving me, not gonna lie, it's been giving me a problem. Not because I just relied on head movement, but it changes the way you have to play this game. So, with that being said, getting into using Ilia Topuria in UFC 6, he's so dominant. Like, everything he is in real life, kind of how he is in the game. He has like 99 power with 97 punch speed, but then he can submit you because I think he has 94 submission offense. And you have a bunch of top control, so you can do anything you want. The main thing here, though, is finding your windows, right? So right here, max is overextended. The main thing I'm doing here is keeping the volume low. If you keep the volume too high in this game, you will gas out, and you'll gas out in like 2 rounds. You can gas out in 1 round if you get your body hit. It's bad. So you really got to be aware of where you're picking your shots. And if you're paying attention, the main thing I'm noticing from Max, right, they're fighting very reactively. So I start throwing feints. I'm trying to throw jab feints out there, straight feints to see what they do. I threw the straight feint out there, and what happens? They start throwing leg kicks. You throw that leg kick, it's like, okay, what else do they do? He starts throwing in combos. So if you're throwing in combos off of feints, I can just start tagging your body with little shots, and I can start playing the footsies game. In and out, in and out, in and out. And that's pretty much what I'm doing with Topuria, and that's how you're watching him whiff on those teeps. But each thing he does, look at our stamina difference. I'm throwing 1 shot, 2 shots. Even when I go to 3 shots, as I get clipped there because I overextended in the pocket. Even when I get clipped, it's because I overstayed my welcome. But the stamina battle is in my favor. And Max has like 100 cardio. You should never be losing the stamina battle if you have 100 cardio. Now, here's another thing that we're going to establish on this channel. I do not duck fades. If you pop that Max Holloway takeover, I will meet you in the middle. I don't care who it is. If you see this video and you leave a comment and you say you want to fight me, I'm willing to fight everybody. We don't duck fades here. And if you do pop that, I call it a takeover, but that's pretty much what it is. It's flow state. I'm willing to fight anybody there. I'm not ducking that. I'm going to go right back, and we're just going to have to see who wins. Now, right there, I won the exchange. Now, once again, though, we're looking at finding our small exchange wins in the pocket and on the outside. So if he throws 7 strikes there, right, with, like as you're saying, whiffing all of them. If you're going to whiff those, then I'm not going to lie to you. I need you to lock in and make sure that you're at least defensively sound on your head movement, because you can't whiff and get tagged up, because every time you whiff and you get hit to the body, that's like taking 7 hooks or like power kicks from Alex Pereira on your like liver. Like, it's just killing your stamina, and that's why I'm winning the stamina battle here. And the best part about winning the stamina battle is when you have the power, the less stamina they have, like the better your advantage is on stamina, the harder your hits are going to feel on their like block and on their like head and body health. So you can't just be gassed and take high stamina, like full power Ilia hooks. So basically everything starts with, in my opinion, when you use Ilia, it starts off of using your jab to find your range and getting the hooks to the body, because those are heavy body hooks, and every one of those hooks that land are like, they do more damage, they do increased damage because they're the heavier version, but I believe they give you more damage, but it takes away your ability to like evade quicker. So if you use a heavy strike, you have a bigger window to be countered if they do the right things defensively. But it's okay, because most of the time you're going to be using them when people whiff. So if somebody whiffs real bad, and then you just go and use right there, like they're shelling up, so I'm just trying to find a way to get the body hook. But I saw them load up that uppercut, and I didn't get my feint in time, which is one thing I'll say in UFC 6 I have noticed. The feints, you have to be a little bit quicker than in 5. It seems like in 5 they were a lot more the inputs were a little bit slower. So with that being said, your feints, you could delay them a little bit later. In 6, they're like hyper reactive, so you have to make sure you know you're feinting, or you're gonna accidentally get caught. And it's interesting. I'm learning. Like I said, we're only like a day in, so the fights will get better, the fighters will get better, and we're pretty much going to just be on our way to have a real successful time on this game and trying to grow this channel and find a little bit more success in this space. Now right there, we finally get the drop because they're behind the black line. They're just on the cage, and that's exactly where you don't want to be against Ilia, because the strikes pile up, all because why? You took too much damage, you overextended, and you were getting hit to the body, and you didn't leave engagements. If you're ever getting tagged like boom boom and you didn't get a response off, or something like superior back, like if somebody hits a double jab but you hit a rear uppercut to their chin and they get hit stunned, you still somewhat won that exchange. But if you're getting tagged up and then you're not leaving the pocket, that's just bad defense. So I say all that to say, we're going on to the next fight. That was a good Ilia fight right there, but you gotta get more in.
You okay? Ready? Let's go.
So here, what do we do better than Ruffy? We box better. We don't kickbox better, but we box better. And we have a good calf kick. So if I can land my jab and I can land my body hooks, because Ruffy has like 88 cardio. And you have all the power in the world with 5-star body hooks. 5-star like heavy body hooks. If you're gonna do, or 4-star body hooks, but 5-star hooks up top. So if you're gonna use your weapons, make sure it's the ones that take stamina away, because that's just going to make the fight so much easier. Because if we control the pace and we have the power, 9 times out of 10 you're going to win the fight unless you just run into something. Again, we're fighting at our ranges, so we're trying to feint, we're trying to find our way inside the pocket without just rushing in there and being belligerent, because that's a good way to get hurt. Because Ruffy has a heavy cross, and I believe it's 5 stars. So if you just get tagged with that like 2-3 times, you're going to start getting dropped immediately. And once again, you don't want that. Nobody wants that. So as Ilia, we're looking more so for entry windows. What is the Ruffy player doing that we can do to capitalize on? Now right there, they're sitting and they're standing, and off of these like kickster, off the kickster thong, right? When I block them, I'm throwing lead hooks up top, because that's an easy way to get damage. If you check a kick, throw the hook up top, it will land. They can't block it. It's a good counter. Now right there, what do? Spinning kick to the body. What have I been preaching since UFC 5 if you've been here? We throw head kick counters. Even though Ilia doesn't head kick like that, if they throw that spinning, like a spinning wheel kick or a spinning kick to the body, and they whiff it or you walk to the side of it, the counter window is so large that you could get the head kick off with somebody like Anthony Smith. So you already know I'm going to get it off with Ilia. And that's why you need to know your counter windows and where your power is most effective. Now right here, once again, we're getting to the body with body hooks, and I like that lead body roundhouse. Me personally, that's one of my favorite strikes. I love lead body hooks, and I love lead body roundhouses. If people overextend with their combos or just throw certain things from out of range and they just don't protect their body, which is another thing I'm realizing, they're not protecting their body, they're protecting their head. So look at that. You always see the bruise on the right side of their body. That means you're zapping their stamina very effectively. And it means you can keep hitting that target over and over again, which is just going to be better for you in the long run. Now, again, they are biting on feints, and I'm going to try and turn up the aggression, but you don't have to, because there's like 20 seconds left in the round. But for round 2, the game plan is now we have the stamina. Let's see if we can get a few more exchanges to where we're in total control, and last but not least, you control the damage to the body, which will lead to more knockdowns. And pretty much, as long as I stay in the pocket I was in the first round, the fight is pretty much in my control completely. The main thing we got to do is make sure we don't just get too over the top and just get too confident, because once you realize you're winning, sometimes you start to do crazy things, such as throwing overhands for no reason, trying to knock people out with certain strikes only. See, you don't want to look and just harbor yourself and pigeonhole yourself into like one situation. You want to let the fight flow and just casually get more and more to the end goal of winning the fight. Now, you also don't want to fight for you don't want to fight for finishes. That's one thing I've been trying to become better at, which is if you fight for finishes, you're going to end up like Justin Gaethje. And that's not like slander, because Justin Gaethje has a lot of good wins. But there's some people you're not going to finish. And then what? Once you get to that point, you realize you put yourself in a bad spot, and it's going to make you lose fights. So you should just literally stick to your game plans. Right there, they overextended through the head kick. We throw the rear hook, we drop them. We didn't go and throw 30 punches at them. We went, we found our shot, we dropped them, and we kept on our things. We're throwing single strike, high variance. We're throwing a lead hook here, a calf kick here, and then occasionally throw like 2 punches. But we're trying to keep our head off the center line because they're throwing a lot of things that are looping. They're throwing high kicks, they're throwing hooks, they're throwing uppercuts. As long as you can tag the body and get to your spots without being, defensively irresponsible, which is going out of your way to just try and hit them, you don't want to do that. Now right here, I did think it was an uppercut coming, and I leaned into a hook. Now what? We retreat. We back up. I didn't stand in the pocket and stay there. I stayed where I needed to stay after I retreated to a safe distance, but I still didn't go all the way back to my back against the fence. You want to stay inside the black circle or the black octagon that's on the ground. You want to stay there. As long as you're in there, you're controlling the distance. If you get pushed behind the black line, you're doing something wrong. Now right here, I'm the Darce man. I'm still the Darce man. I'll never stop being the Darce man. If you give me the chance to Darce you, I will Darce you. And Ilia, being the submission practitioner he is, has Darces. So as soon as I get on the ground, just keep beating up the body, get your denials off, and get your Darces. You'll find a lot of success. Again, Ilia can do everything. He's very well-rounded. The best part about him is his power, his kicks, and the fact that he can do submissions and has really good top control. He's good everywhere. But here, what are we doing? I see them trying to get in the pocket. We have more stamina, we have higher move levels, and we have better boxing. If you keep fighting in the pocket, I'm going to try and fight you. The problem is, though, at that point, we already had a knockdown and a submission. You don't keep fighting with 10 seconds left in the round. You don't have to do that. You just survive to the next round, and now I wouldn't have given him a rock. But you live and you learn. Everybody makes mistakes, even when you're fighting really well, which I feel in this fight, I'm fighting really well. I'm staying defensively sound. I'm staying in my ranges. I'm not getting hit that much. I have double their stamina. But at the same time, you still got to identify your mistakes, because if you don't do that, you won't get better. And the main thing that me and all the players I like to play with in our group, we like to help the community get better. And that's honestly because a better community is a way more fun community. So if we all get better, we all, lock in on the things we want to do, and we start using more unique picks because there's fighter uniqueness, I think this would be probably the best game EA has ever brought. I think 6 is a step in the right direction, and I want to put my stamp on the community. Now right here, we made the mistake of death, which is you don't throw spinning stuff like that. I walked out the way of it, threw a right hook with Ilia, that's 5-star hook, he was done. And that's pretty much how you use Ilia in this game. You just stick to your weapons, stay defensively sound, and last but not least, make sure you use your best weapons. Now, with that being my first video on UFC 6, we're going to see where we take this, and last but not least, just, like, subscribe, share the video, and yeah, I'll be back.